what can we expect coming from Beijing?
I think the language you referred earlier is coming from a state-backed media. I would rate it more like a public relation campaign. The dramatic language is meant to attract industry and investor attention, but not necessarily represent an official policy statement. I would pay more attention to the party's publicity department's guiding opinion issue around the same time. If you read that document, it's more about shaping algorithms' role in online gaming and content world to ensure industry follow the party line. So I think that suggests more moderate changes to the sector than the news piece does.
So why does Beijing want to attract not only industry attention, but also investors' attention? I mean, we have seen considerable downward pressure on that sector already.
That's right. I think at this point, Beijing's goal for this regulatory clampdown or campaign, if you will, is really to regulate the disorderly growth coined by the party in late last year. At this point, they still see foreign capital through VIE structure coming into Chinese market, power these digital platform getting into traditional sector, and creating some problematic market behavior as a core problem that the regulator need to focus on.
So when you take a look at Alibaba, you know, they were sort of first on the chopping block with Jack Ma under incredible scrutiny. They've paid the big fine. They're in the middle of the big, you know, sprawling reorganization of their businesses. Is the worst over, or will regulators continue to kind of push with the hard line for Alibaba?
I think China's goal overall is to rein in the disorderly growth of the platform industry, curb its unfavorable social impact, whether this is the tutoring industry, whether this is the unhealthy influence on the minors, and eventually they want these businesses to align their objective with China's long-term strategic ambitions. I don't think right now you see the broadening and deepening of the regulatory campaign. Maybe that this pressure will give officials, this pressure will make officials spreading very thin to cover new fronts and new cases. But I don't see fundamentally this will change regulators' view on Alibaba. However, if the company takes a collaborative approach to cooperate with government, which seems to be the case so far, I think this type of action can reduce regulatory heat on the firm.
We see what happens with the sort of top-down approach, right? Like with the corruption crackdown and how widespread and impactful it ended up being with this crackdown. Is it sort of, you know, you kill the chickens to scare the monkeys, if you will, or is it they will go through, you know, every relevant company and make sure that dues are paid and changes are made?
You score a very important point, Haidi, there. I think with the Alibaba record fine as well as the anti-restructure, that was the regulators' intention to set an example, set a new standard with the industry. But you see Didi run through this very quick IPO process in New York without really paying attention to regulator warnings. And you see this tutoring company, after repeated fine, they keep pursuing their very aggressive marketing and sales tactic. I think from the regulators' view, these guys have not doing enough self-reflection. They haven't taken enough self-discipline measures, and the shoe haven't been tamed yet. I think that's why you see this back and forth and wave of regulatory crackdown, because there's the crackdown, there's also the bounce back. The tech industry, the platform industry players are quite resilient to the regulatory pressure so far. That's why you see the current dynamic.